The nation of Brazil has a fantastic reputation for producing elite-level footballers. One of their most successful clubs, São Paulo, are 3 times Copa de Libertadores champions and have won a record 12 international competitions. Throughout the last few decades, their players have consistently excelled in the Brazilian league before moving across the Atlantic to compete for Europe's biggest honours. Let's deep dive into just a few of these players who played for this illustrious club. First up, we have Casemiro, without a doubt one of the best midfielders in the world over the last decade. The trio he formed alongside Modric and Toni Kroos will go down in history amongst football's best. In 2010, though, long before that, we find him in Brazil. He'd make 111 appearances at the club, helping the team win a Copa Sudamericana. He went on to join Real Madrid in 2013. The 2007 Ballon d'Or winner Kaka, without a doubt one of Brazil's best players in history. He had 2 spells with São Paulo, making 149 appearances, scoring 50 goals. AC Milan parted with €8.5 million to sign him in 2003. Definitely one of the best transfers they've ever made. In Italy, he won 5 trophies, including a Serie A title and the UEFA Champions League. If you're playing FM 2017 anytime soon and you have a spare 29 grand lying around, this wouldn't be a bad signing to make. Eder Militao began his career with São Paulo. He made 57 appearances in total before moving to Porto. After just 1 season in Europe, Real Madrid identified him as an ideal long-term replacement for Sergio Ramos at centre-back, signing him for around €50 million. Lucas Moura, a Copa Sudamericana winner alongside Casemiro, he played 128 games for São Paulo before moving on to Paris Saint-Germain. All in all, PSG spent around £38 million to acquire him. Not a cheap deal at all. During his time in France, he won 15 trophies before moving on to Spurs. His best game for the North London club was probably his second-leg hat-trick against Ajax, via Tottenham to the Champions League final. The only player in history to appear in 3 World Cup finals, Cafu. He spent 5 seasons with São Paulo before moving on to Europe. Whilst he was there, he won 10 trophies, including 2 Copa Libertadores. A legend for Brazil, and also a legend for São Paulo, I imagine. David Neres. He only made 11 senior appearances for São Paulo before being signed by Ajax. He became somewhat of a regular in Holland though, with 47 goals in 180 games. Last summer Benfica signed him for around €15 million. Although his best form in Brazil probably came with Internacional, Oscar was produced by São Paulo. He played 13 senior matches for the club before moving on. Chelsea would eventually sign him in 2012 for around £20 million. He would go on to leave European football in 2017 to sign for Shanghai Port. The final player on our list, Brenner. You may not have heard of this guy as he's currently playing for Cincinnati FC in the MLS. During his time in Brazil though, he played 74 games, scoring 26 goals. This prompted the MLS side to sign him for $13 million in 2021. In his first 2 MLS seasons, he has 26 goals in 62 games. It's rumoured Nottingham Forest tried to sign him during the last transfer window, so Europe could definitely be on the horizon for him. That concludes just some of the players who've progressed through this youth system at São Paulo. It doesn't look like their conveyor belt of talent is slowing down anytime soon either. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.